Greetings and welcome back to PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment. We are in the Q&A session of the show. We just talked about how you can take pictures when you just have a left hand. And in case you missed it, go back and watch it. We'll link to it right here. But here's the main thing. Using your left hand with a vertical grip would allow you to do that. So what I want to know is if any of you guys out there watching live have any other ideas, anything else we can share with Paul, any other thoughts on how he might be able to do this. This is what I came up with over the weekend. But, you know, maybe there's some other ideas out there. I didn't even Google it. Something tells me if I Google it, I'd find some other ideas that other people have come up with. But I thought, I want to see what I can come up with on my own. So what's going on in the chit-chat room here over here? Let's just bring up the comments. What's going on? Real House Films, good morning to everybody. Nick and Marvin and Stuart and Andrew, everybody's saying hello. Sean, Real House Film, wants to know where the other hand is. Yes, exactly. Those aren't pillows. Name that movie. And Stuart says, you love the, I'm thinking about the issue. It was an interesting thing. That Casey's video was really interesting. When I watched that, and I thought, you know, this is a problem that needs to be solved. And I don't see camera manufacturers making a left-handed grip. I kind of think that someone did. It might have been Canon. I think that 20, 30 years ago, someone did make a left-handed camera, but it's just, you know, it's not a big popular thing because most two-handed people, even if you're left-handed, you just learn to use your right hand for it. But when, like Paul, a shark decided to eat your right hand, you need better options. So this is what we've got today. So looks like nobody in the chat has any other suggestions. Nobody out there has any suggestions? Any questions? Anything else you want to ask? It's a quiet morning out there today, isn't it? If there's no other questions, then I'm going to have to kill this part of the show, and it's going to be a real short Q&A session for people who are watching it not live. And, oh, there we go. Stuart, thank you very much. That's what we needed. We needed a question here. Stuart says, seems odd that every major manufacturer goes with right hand only. Can't see why we shouldn't be able to make a function button operate as a left-hand shutter. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So make one of the function buttons operate as a shutter. Huh, interesting. Because, okay, so we're holding, like here I've got the, let's go for a lighter weight setup here. Actually, you know what? It helps to have that bigger grip on there and holding it with your left hand. So there is, for example, the FN5 button on here. If I push that, if I could program that to be a shutter, that could be interesting. So you can see how I'm kind of holding this here. I've got the lens between my fingers here to put the weight on it because it doesn't have all the finger grip here that you normally would have, right? This has got a good grip. This doesn't, so I'm kind of wrapping around the lens. Could I make, I don't even know if I could. I'm going to take a quick look. I don't think you can. Remember on the Lumix cameras, to change the function button, just press and hold it for a couple of seconds. It pops up the menu, but I am quite sure that shutter is not. I know I could make it focus. I could set focus to it. I wonder, actually, there is, okay, now you really got me thinking. There is the ability to set the camera to fire on half press. So if I set the camera to fire on half press and then I set the FN5 button to focus, would that do it? Ooh, probably not. But this is really interesting. So for anybody who's not watching live, this might get a little boring while I try to find this menu. But in the meantime, for those watching live, come up with another question, another comment for me. I'm going to try and find this function because I have no idea where this is. Let's see here. Focus, release, shutter. There we go. Shutter, half press, release. Okay, so half press, release, I'm turning on. You know what, here, I should probably just plug this thing in so you guys can see what's going on here. Let's plug this into the camera. And then you will see the menu system. And with any luck, well, let's see here. I've got to find the right preview for this. Oh, here we go. Sweet, that's the one. Excellent. All right, so in the menu system, so I went to the custom wrench menu, focus, release, shutter, and then half press, release. And I just turned that on, right? Or I'm turning that on. So now, this is interesting. I've never used this before. Now when I push the shutter halfway, well, it's not taking a picture. What is that supposed to? Oh, it's in movie mode. It started shooting a movie. Okay, let me put this into still picture mode. Yeah, so I half press, and it focuses and then shoots. Okay, so that's cool. All right, so we got that. So now, let's see here. Now let's go to the FN5 function. Oop, get rid of that. FN5, bring that up. Is that going to show you? Yes, it does. And now I want to find focus. Autofocus lock. Autofocus on. There we go. Okay. Will it do it? Oh, it doesn't. Darn. Oh, so close. It focuses. It's focusing, but it is not triggering the shutter. Interesting. But I like the idea, Stuart. I think that is a very, very good idea. And that is something that camera manufacturers could do via a software or firmware update. Allow the camera to have the shutter button programmed into a function button. And that might be possible in other cameras. And maybe there's still a way in here. It's not what, I'm not thinking of it, but I like the idea. I like the idea a lot. Nick says a camera cage could be configured to help with the left-handed grip. Very, very true. You would still have the issue of shutter release, so how to actually trigger the shutter. If you wanted to get crazy, you could put a cage in the camera. Okay, we're getting somewhere. You could put the camera in a cage and then have a remote control, right? You wouldn't use this because it'd be too big, but I don't know if you could find any smaller, but you basically use a remote control and mount that onto the left side of the cage. Oh, I like that a lot, actually. The camera goes into a cage. Let me grab, I have a cage here. This is rigged up for video use, so you would certainly not configure it this way. But the camera, well, without got all these plates on here now, without a plate on the bottom, of course, you go into a cage like this. You can mount a handle onto the side of the cage and then put this onto the handle. In fact, I could even take this small rig cage. Okay, well, now I got to do this because now we're getting somewhere. This is really interesting. Real House Films, that's exactly, you're saying perhaps install the remote shutter on the arm as well. That is precisely where I am headed with this. All right, let's see here. Let me put this in. So now you really got me thinking, now I got to actually try it. We're going to actually build it. See, I knew the Q&A section would be good. Just got to get you guys warmed up a bit. All right, so there's that. Let's take this arm off of here. And I'm going to mount this on the side. If I can remember which way is loosen, which way is tighten on the sync camera. There we go. There we go. Get that off of there. It's a good idea. Now, this particular grip is not going to be an ideal grip for left-handed holding. This whole rig is from a company called Small Rig. I just saw that they have released some wooden grips, and I don't know if there's a left-handed grip in there, but if there was, that would certainly be ideal. So now we take this, let's mount this on the side here. Oh, we want to do it, we'd want to go horizontal. Okay, so we'd have to think, oh wait, this moves. Right, I think, can that get mounted? I don't know if this can get mounted sideways or not. This is things that we find out when we're live. Good ideas like this take a little bit of time and effort to figure out, but hopefully it'll make it worthwhile. So now I'm taking this whole thing apart. I'm going to need this at some point, not have any idea how to put it back together. So I want to mount this. It doesn't. Okay, that doesn't mount that way. All right, Need to find a way to mount that on there. Well, again, they have lots of different tools. I believe they have a left-handed. I know they have wooden grips now. If they have one for the left hand, you would then take this, mount it up in front, and away you go. So it's a great idea. That is a fantastic idea. I say it's worth trying as well. Stuart says, also, would a relatively high-end integrated lens camera be a better option for this? But then you need zoom buttons on the remote and shutter as well. So what he's talking about would be something like the Z1000, I think it was, where you've got motorized zoom in the camera. It's kind of an all-in-one. And that's great because then you can zoom it with your finger, but the problem there, again, is that you're not going to have a left-handed way to do it. One of the things that you can, hold the camera like this and kind of get to the functions, even without going for the grip. So that is an option as well. But then you're covering the viewfinder. It's much more clumsy to hold. But that is how you'd have to get to that zoom rocker. So I don't know that would really help. I did think of that, but without the ability to add the vertical grip, I don't know that you'd be able to do that. Every time I pick it up, I'm like, wait, how am I doing it again? There we go, like that. You also on this camera, you'd probably want to cut this little bolt off of there because that really hits your hand like that. Obviously, it's not designed for that, but it could certainly work. It could certainly work. Okay, anything else? Looks like not. All right, I think we're going to cut it off there. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching. That was fun. Thanks for the great ideas and suggestions. I really like the idea of putting it in a cage. It would add to the weight and to the bulk of it, but if you could get the left-handed grip on there, that would probably do it right. Do it well. I'll take a look and see if there is a. Let's just take a quick look. Smallrig.com. Let's just take a look at their webpage real quick and see if. There we go. Look at this, right on the front page. There you go, left-handed grip. So that type of a mount with that left-handed grip, wooden grip, the RE Rosetta just pops right in. Rosette pops right in. That's interesting. That is really, really interesting. So yeah, this with a little clever rigging could actually work. All right, we'll put links to this all down below. I actually have if you use PhotoJoseph on checkout at Small Rig, you can get I think 10% off or something. We'll put all that down below for you. All right, guys, that is that. Hey, thanks a bunch for watching today. Guess what? Wednesday's show is the 2-year anniversary of the show. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I have an idea. We'll see. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye-bye.